Welcome back to Idea Spotlight here on Beyond the Brick. I'm Joshua Hanlon, and today I'm joined by Christoph with his Settlers of Catan project. And big thanks to CloneArmyCustoms.com for helping make this live stream possible. If you are a LEGO Star Wars fan, as always, make sure to check out all of their incredible Star Wars minifigures and accessories at CloneArmyCustoms.com. Now, today I'm very excited because we have an amazing project, one of the most iconic board games ever made, depicted here in LEGO. Super cool idea. So I'm very happy to have the builder joining me on the stream today. Why don't you give us a quick introduction to yourself?
Yeah, hi Joshua. Thanks for having me. I'm Christoph Ruger, living in Germany, and you probably know me from this little guy over there. It's the International Space Station set, LEGO Idea set from LEGO, which hit the market last year. And today I'm presenting you my Settlers of Catan board game.
So that's great. Yeah. So you have a successful project kind of already under your belt. So you're very familiar with how Ideas works and what it takes to get a project to 10,000.
And as you can see, I got a little bit like addicted to it.
But yeah, we want to focus on the Catan project today. So why don't you start off by telling us just kind of the inspiration for this? How did you decide to build Catan out of Lego?
That's a good question. Actually, I know Catan almost as long as it's on the market. I think just a couple of years after it started, it hit our family as well. And later on, we had a game group playing it. So I know it all my life, let's say. But it was 2 years ago when we were on making an exhibition with Bricking Bavaria in Munich, in the same hall where actually the German mastership of Settlers of Catan were held. I didn't know that something like that existed, and but I instantly thought, wouldn't that be cool if they would play on a Lego-made board for the championship? And well, then 2 years passed, and last year I got invited by a friend, and we played Settlers. And that evening, I thought, okay, now that's it. Let's do it. And then I checked out the possibilities, and I had this fun idea of making the hexagonal plates, make them round, as you can see on the picture, but then let's do the board itself hexagonal, so to have the shape back there.
Right, and yeah, it's instantly recognizable. And I know you referenced that the German like championships take place in the same hall as one of the Lego shows there, and it's also very appropriate because the game is originally from Germany, right? That's where it was invented.
It is indeed, yeah.
Yeah, so that's very appropriate that you would be building this out of Lego then. So have you played the game on your brick built board here? Is it fully playable as a Lego board?
Absolutely, and I was a little bit afraid of that actually, and that's why I insisted myself on try playing it before publishing it, because I think there's a lot of things going on the board, and I thought maybe you get distracted by all the different sheep and everything what is going on here. You can see it in the picture, and but it turned out it's fairly okay. The one thing is that all the pieces, your own cities, your settlements, your roads have a distinct color, and the other thing is you simply get used to it. You know what to look for. All the plates, the landscapes I designed are fairly color distinctive. Yep, here they are. So you can easily distinguish them, and everything in between, those are your parts.
Yeah, and so I think your mind kind of quickly adapts to what's going on with it. So you've got it built there in front of you, right? So can you maybe pick up some of the different kind of resource tiles and the different pieces and show off how you built those?
Yes. Here we have the ore, for example. I especially like the idea of going into the third dimension since it's coming out of the mountains. So let's do mountains here. Well, not so much for the desert.
The desert was the easier one to do.
It was, absolutely. Here we have the woods. This plate actually is a little bit autumn already. First of all, I started with all the wood plates and all the same plates actually being the same, but then in the end, of course, I ended up with making everything a little bit different, because why not? Here you have sheep, the wool, big sheeps, and there you see a little sheep, a sheepdog, and again, all the plates are different, like those sheep over here. They are lucky, they have a little pond with them. Then, no, don't go away. Here you have the clay. Clay was actually a little bit difficult because of the colors, to get the appropriate pieces in the right color from Lego.
Yeah, because you've got a lot of different kind of cheese slopes and different angled pieces there.
Yeah, make it a little bit not like mountains, but like hills maybe. And what we haven't talked about, the wheat. Here we go. Some is already, how do you call it if you cut the wheat?
Yeah, it's been like cultivated and
harvested. Yeah, absolutely. And then next thing on the board is the harbors. So you can see little ships here. It is not the shipment extension. It is still the harbors. So they are the little ships with only one sail, and they are the 1x2 harbor. Here you can change wood, for example. And the large ships, they are the 1-3 harbors. And as you can see with the tiles here, you can see which cities or which settlements connect to this harbor.
Yeah, so you were able to include, all of the main elements of the game and even all the little details. I love how you even kept, the woods and those different pieces with the sheep. You switched up the details so it's not just replicating the same thing again and again.
No, that's right. And next thing, this the roads, fairly simple. Here it is. Then you have the settlements. All the settlements are 2x2 based, but all a little bit different. It's not, well, not that easy, but I thought let's make it more interesting. And then we have the cities, which are 4x4 base plate. And again, all are the same size, like all on the 4x4, but all cities are a little bit different, or some even more than a little bit. So then you can choose, when you upgrade a settlement to a city, you can choose your favorite one and start with that one, or just have fun enjoying the builds. And let's put this one here.
Yeah,
and that's something I found amazing during playing. As I said, I was a bit afraid of you get distracted and confused by all the stuff. But in the end, it's more like during the game, you can just enjoy the view, let's say, and discover some details here. And, well, if you don't get lucky and you constantly dice for the roll for the robber, then at least you can enjoy the board.
There you go. So everybody can enjoy, no matter how good they actually are at the game.
Yep.
Oh, and there's the little robber piece.
Yeah, and the numbers are just numbers put on, as you can mix them up and put them in a different way for the next game. And as you know, for the landscape plates, the rules say put them upside down, mix them, and then just spread them. obviously you can't put it. Not much sense to put this one upside down and then pick one. Therefore, I thought, let's introduce a color dice. And when starting the game, you just roll which plate to put in next.
Okay, so you kind of adapted it to a Lego version then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like we have 5 resources in the desert, so that makes 6 sides of the dice.
So you can then talk about kind of the construction of it, kind of how all the pieces come together. It looks like as you've picked the pieces up and put them back down that they sort of like lock into place a little bit. So what's the overall construction of the board like?
Well, as you can see, the overall construction is it's a grid, let's say, and it's all with flat plates with tiles. So like these round landscape plates, they are not fixed here. They are kind of trapped, so they can't escape. But they are not really fixed like with a pin,
studs or anything.
Except for the cities or the settlements, they are really fixed in place, so they stay there, and the roads simply are put on top of the tiles. Now they could escape, but as soon as you put the landscape tiles in there, they can't anymore. So it's a little bit a mixture of the original board game where all these little pieces could escape and could move around, and sometimes you don't want that. So these roads could move, but they can't go anywhere. So they are here, and even if you accidentally hit the board, they still stay there.
Yeah, and that's such a great design too when people are playing, so then you don't have pieces or any tiles or anything moving all over the place. So I like that. Now, have you designed this with kind of play in mind in terms of having it permanently set up at someone's house, or would this be something that you could kind of break down and then take on the road with you or take somewhere else? As you designed it, what was your idea there?
I designed it that it can be broken down. You can show the picture with the frame only, the second one, I think. There you see, that's it. There you can see the base frame is separable into 6 different parts, which are basically all the same. And then you can easily put them in a box. And additionally, by splitting them in this way, you could make an extension for 5 or 6 people as well.
That's true, because there's the 5 and 6 person extension, as well as other kind of add-on games and various expansion games. Have you thought about designing any of the other ones that in the Catan universe?
Yes. One thing at a time. So I thought about that, but I started with this one.
That makes sense. Go with the most iconic one first.
Yeah, but in the end, it's like Lego, so you can extend it. And even if this set is made and you want some extension that is not made, just add it, create it on yourself. The system is fairly clear, and it's as extensible as Lego always is. And
we haven't talked about the dice then real quick, because that's a piece that maybe a lot of people might not be familiar with, because it's not a real common piece that you see in Lego sets. So talk about what sets those came in, where did you get those from, and do they work well with the game?
They work perfectly. Actually, they always you always get a 7 if you roll them. They are actually original Lego piece. Come on. But you're right, they are not very familiar anymore. Lego had a line of board games, actually. A couple of years ago, they ended them, but there were quite a lot of them.
I think it was like Heroica was the name of some of. There was a series of them, but there were a bunch of different types. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can see it here. It's like real original Lego. And they mostly used the die not as a normal D6, but put some color plates, some special printed plates. So depending on the game, what the rules are. So it's like here I have normal, and here I have colors only. They did a mixture depending on the game, which I think is a nice idea. And since this is one piece, the inner thing, it is not only fairly solid, but it is also weighted in a way that it's equal. Otherwise, if you now would build D6 out of different Lego bricks, you might argue, nah, then it's not equally rolling. And here you can see these black things. They are actually rubber. So that is, and it's a little bit curved up here. So it's, yeah, it rolls fairly good. It's a little bit, you need to get used to it compared to normal dice, but I think they're quite cool. I like them, actually.
Yeah, they're definitely fun to play with and mess around with, and it's a different experience, like you said, than regular dice, so it kind of feels more unique.
Yep. And yeah, you could remove the plates and put something else on it. I like that as well. It's Lego.
Now, how many pieces are in this project, and do you have kind of a price point in mind where if Lego made this a set, kind of where it might land?
That's a good question. It's about 2,700 bricks.
Oh, so that's a lot of pieces. It's more pieces than you would think at first looking at it.
It is, absolutely. It's yeah, well, all the pieces here, like the road, each road 3 pieces. I think the city's settlements are about 500 pieces already for all the players. So yeah, and then the frame structure of the board and all the details, of course.
Right. So you've got to factor all that in, but so yeah, with a lot of pieces, but that's how you get all of that detail, and so it might end up a more expensive idea set, but I think you'd get that level of detail that people would really appreciate.
Yeah.
Well, that's very impressive. We'll make sure to have a link in the description to the project, so everyone watching, you can go over and make sure you lend your support. I know I've supported this project, and I would be absolutely thrilled to see this become a set, as I think many other people would as well, because Catan is such a well-loved game. I think having a Lego version of it would definitely be super fun as well. Before we end, I also wanted to mention, I think, do you have another of your projects behind you there that I think is also on Ideas? Is that the organ project back there?
It is indeed.
So yeah, if you want to give us an overview of that as well, because that's such a neat looking project sitting back there, I wanted to make sure we reference that.
Yeah, I can give you a quick tour.
Sure, yeah.
On Ideas, actually, it's the smaller version. Here it's the larger version, but first of all, I can show you another feature of the Settlers game, which I didn't thought of, but it's quite handy. It's so,
you can just pick it up.
So strong, the frame, that you can carry it around and put it somewhere else. And now I could give you...
Be careful, we don't want it crashing on camera.
No, I wouldn't like that either. But talking of crashing, here you have the organ.
Another very detailed project here.
It's a Baroque-styled organ, and it has, as you wish, all the pipes in there. And you can take it apart into modules, and here you can see the woodworks is there, the pipes are there. Let's put this here. Here's another part. You can see all the mechanics in there. Here's the wind channels. And here you have the manuals.
All the different knobs and pieces there.
Yep. Those little guys here actually are microphones.
Oh, that's a great use of that piece.
Which is funny because microphones are part of music as well. So to use it in an organ, but here it has a totally different function.
Now, do you play the organ yourself, or did you just think this would be kind of a fun model to try to build?
My father did. I don't.
Is this particular organ based off of one maybe there in Germany or a particular real world one?
Yes, it is. It's based on a big organ in Hamburg, and it was built by Ab Schnitger, a very famous North German organ builder, and he died last year, 300 years ago, and that was actually the spark to build this one.
Well, that's very impressive. Yeah, and I love how modular it is. So it's something that you can almost use as a teaching tool for kind of how organs work and see how they look inside.
Yep, that's part of the idea, especially since there are so many details in there. It would be a pity not to be able to show them.
Well, excellent work. Yeah, I wanted to make sure we at least had you show that off a little bit here. And here's the project on ideas. So definitely go over and support this project as well, along with the Catan project. I think they're both fantastic ideas. Very, very, very impressive. And the level of detail you're able to achieve with these is really great. So thanks for showing these projects off.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
For sure. And yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on your work in the future. I think it'd be great to have you back to talk about some other projects. We haven't even referenced that incredible map behind you there, as well as all built out of Lego.
Yes.
Yeah, that's also super impressive. So that's very cool stuff. And maybe someday when Lego shows start back up, we'll be able to make it to one in Germany and see your work in person.
Yeah, that would be great. Otherwise, I may be able to join you over there.
That would also be fantastic. Yeah, I think you certainly have some good work, so I'd look great on display at any shows. Great stuff. Well, thank you so much, Christoph, for chatting with me today and for showing off your projects.
Thanks for having me, Joshua.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for watching as well. And as I mentioned earlier, definitely look for links in the description where you can go over and support these projects on ideas and try to get them to 10,000 as quickly as possible.